Yo, Chin, what's with the face mask, bro?
Dude, haven't you been outside? Everyone's just talking about COVID. I ain't there to get sick, man. Wait, why aren't you wearing a mask?
No, but this is just a podcast. This is why do we need a mask?
Are you one of those anti-mask Karens?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second meeting of Judgementals. This is the second part to the anti-mask Karens, and we're going to continue reacting to this council meeting, town hall, Palm Beach County, whatever you want to call it. But what we intend to do here at MOJ is share our opinions, perspectives, and experiences on certain topics of politics or pop culture. We will do our best to consider other possible views out there as well. We don't know the absolute truth, and neither do you. Nevertheless, it's your boy Russ.
Yo, Rico here.
Hero, I'm Chin.
Hello, I'm Dr. Bang Bang.
And together we are
MOJ.
Let's jump into it, lads.
Do it now.
Who said that?
That was Rico.
Okay.
Hello. First, I want to mention that
get
Craig
ready.
has a more detailed report that he's going to put in the commissioner's mailbox. I have one ready for all of you, and I hope you will read it and try to be concerned about the citizens out here. I was born and raised in this country, and I'm very sad to see the authorities stomping on our constitutional rights and trying to decide something when they have no scientific proof that mask will protect a person. And they want to throw God's wonderful breathing system out the door. You're all turning your backs on it.
Yeah, okay.
Can you prove that it's good for people to breathe carbon dioxide over and over and over again?
We're not trying to do that.
God made it so that we would breathe in fresh oxygen
Okay.
to go to our body, to every cell in the body. It has to have that to make energy.
Yes.
When you wear a mask, the nose is cut off, the mouth is cut off, and you're breathing
did you have to
carbon
put- why'd you have to
dioxide
put that?
over and over and over
I want
again.
to see what she was
You're
called.
not getting the fresh oxygen that God intended. You're sending carbon dioxide to every cell in the body, polluting it, especially the brain. You can't do that.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
I can't understand why
okay,
you would all
wait, let her finish, let
decide
her
something
finish
like
first.
this and want to hurt the people. You're going to harm the health of all of the people. The virus is going to keep on going because people's bodies are being polluted.
Okay,
And the
let's
virus
pause
is
this, let's
attracted
pause this. I can't take it
to
anymore.
polluted bodies.
Why
don't-
you sound? Oh my god.
Okay, but this person right here sounds like someone who's in Parks and Rec. I'm sorry, but it's just this seems like such a scene where there's like they're talking out of their out of their butt, bro. They don't know what they're saying. Okay, first off, let's break it down. Let's break it down. She's saying that masks that you put on prevent you from breathing the oxygen, right? They make you breathe out and the carbon dioxide doesn't escape, so you keep constantly breathing that carbon dioxide. What type of mask is she wearing, or thinks that people are wearing? Are we wearing like plastic over ourselves, like or metal? What type of masks can you not breathe through that are like that? I don't
Masks have
understand
been
that.
worn. Masks have been worn by doctors and medical personnel for decades. And
She's
Yes,
talking
yes.
about the choker.
Yeah. Isn't that freaky shit?
Okay, but wait. Wait, okay. Okay, but hypothetically, let's just say that these masks are bad for us because she's probably right in the sense that probably we're not breathing the full potential oxygen and there is some carbon dioxide that is being recycled into our lungs, but it's so minor. And to say that the government is doing this to harm them is just such a bullcrap statement. I'm sorry. I want to say that MOJ is a place where we can think through different alternate perspectives, but it's kind of hurts to see or try to look through her perspective right now. Am I talking like okay? Is this okay that what I'm saying? Do you guys agree?
Yeah. Makes
Makes
complete
sense.
Dude, I don't know what to say. I mean, yes, we're having greenhouse gases. Yeah, global warming is occurring within our masks. That therefore we need to, whatchamacallit, think about masks environmentally. Therefore, people should not wear masks.
Yes, but I think if you were to compare the cons of wearing a mask to the cons of not wearing a mask, the cons of not wearing a mask heavily outweigh the cons of wearing that mask. Sure,
Yeah.
you get some carbon dioxide in your body, but it's not like you're breathing COVID-19 viruses all day.
Yeah, one option is you die, and one option you don't.
Yeah, one option is that you just breathe a little bit of carbon dioxide.
I mean, according to her, you get the virus anyways because you're polluting your cells.
so it's up to us whether it's carbon dioxide that'll get her first or the virus.
Yeah, who's the more dangerous enemy, I guess.
Clearly,
Alright.
it's the carbon dioxide. Clearly.
clearly, because you know how many cases of carbon dioxide deaths there are. Where are the stats for that? Show me a good study that carbon dioxide is killing people.
Craig has the study, dude.
Craig?
Yeah, she said it before. Craig has the report.
Oh yeah, no, he's dropping another whatever the concern though. Oh whatever.
Look,
Craig.
I'm sorry, but like she seems like a nice old lady. But,
Oh my god,
It
yeah,
is.
she
It
does.
But-
And that's what you feel for her. She feels I think she feels attacked. She feels like the changes that she can't adapt to are too
The
serious.
thing is, she believes it completely herself. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
that's the problem. Like, come on.
Okay.
It takes some kind of common sense to realize that everyone not around you who are wearing masks are not suddenly dying
Yes. Yeah.
or suffocating from carbon dioxide. You know, the thing about it, ventilators, right? You know, ventilators have masks.
Yes.
I'm telling you, therefore, there's that carbon dioxide poisoning, even though it's there to help you breathe.
Yeah.
So then what we should do is take off the masks and we should shove the tubes down your lungs.
No, because then there are gonna be people who are be like, those tubes are poisonous. They're killing us.
Yeah. Let's implant the ventilator within inside of you.
Oh my god. Oh, all right. Let's just continue. Let's continue, bro.
Please make sure you read the detailed report that Craig is going to put in your mailboxes so you can think about this. You're not qualified to decide.
Ma'am, your time has expired, and we do
Okay.
deeply appreciate the comments today. Thank you.
Poor Craig.
Someone find that
my
report.
God. Yeah, we need to find the Craig's report.
Please, someone find me that report.
What is he gonna say? It's gonna be like masks are bad, carbon dioxide in lungs. That's all it's gonna say.
Period.
Are they gonna have a study? Like, I guarantee you, they don't have like a study. They don't have like anything that enhances her argument right now.
No, they have some sources. Like the bibliography is gonna just say me.
Yes. She's gonna try to credit her as someone who's been living in this country for years. That's her only source of reliability. Dr. Bang Bang question
The
mark?
heck is that?
You'll see.
Yo, it's my
Dr.
It's
Bang Bang,
my
is that you? Dr.
Is that you when you were younger?
Oh no.
No, read his background. Look, it's gonna say who he is. It's gonna say who he is.
Mr. Hussein, you're recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Commissioner and Mayors. Hi, my name is Said Hussein. I'm a Florida Atlantic University student studying environmental engineering, minor in political science. I've called Palm Beach County my home for the past 4 years. I'm just entering politics as a candidate myself, and I wanted to come out for public comment. In regards to Max, unfortunately, with recent evidence, there's not much data to support that. And this is from the WHO. It does not recommend. At the present time, the widespread use of masks everywhere is not supported by high-quality scientific evidence, and that's from the World Health Organization on June 7, and I could send it to you just for your reference. What this means is that if the World Health Organization is not recommending a widespread use of masks, then, is that we have to recognize are we going to listen to the World Health Organization, or are we going to listen to what we think is the right way to proceed? Everybody in the Florida Constitution, we have a right to privacy, and we have the right to live the life that we do without government intervention, especially in the private matter and the public matter. It's unfair to start penalizing people and folks of any color and any race for deciding what they would do with their bodies, especially. I know it could be hypocritical, but that's just a fact in this matter specifically. Looking at, just the overall architecture of having an executive order on this matter, is this legally constitutionally binded by the Florida Constitution? And I do not agree with this. Looking at Weaver versus Myers, they had to prove in that court case that the executive orders have to be within a reasonable burden of proof. And if the World Health Organization is not claiming that this is a widespread burden of proof, then this executive order is going to face extreme lawsuits. The minute you guys start voting on it, expect a lawsuit very quickly from many different organizations. And I would hate for the city to be wrapped up in such matters. I firmly believe that the city should not be liable for the 1.4 million residents living here, and in favor of not having a mandatory mask, let the private businesses take care of themselves. I think that we all want to be better and get rid of this virus, but starting government mandates can
Sir,
lead
your
to...
time has expired.
Thank you guys
very
so much for your time.
comments.
Thank you.
Okay, let's give the benefit of the doubt. Like we said, masks don't work, right? Now, what is the alternative?
Yeah, what can the government do as a replacement of masks?
So their government is just trying to be safe, not trying to murder people by having them wear masks.
I mean, the biggest mystery right now is, why does the US have the highest amount of corona cases as compared to other countries?
I think it's because we don't take social distancing serious.
So the question is that, do we need less preventative measures or more preventative measures?
What do you mean by preventative?
Like preventative measures such as social distancing, constant hand washing, wearing masks even though they may not be
How would less measures fix that? That makes no sense.
Like that's the thing. I mean, I really do understand the argument. Yes, masks may not be for everyone, as in medically, it's hard to accommodate.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a different story. But I believe that the general population should be wearing a mask, at least for the effort to whatchamacallit, to block to block the droplets. I mean, it can block 100%. That's what the data shows. It cannot, like, block 100%, but at least there is something there to either help the coronavirus get contained mostly. If you are sick, usually a mask helps contain your droplets.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really let the cough drops fly really far. And on the other hand, that also helps with preventative measures. Like, I mean, I really don't know what's the huge issue with wearing masks. Now, I was thinking further, is it because that there's, if masks are mandatory, there's going to be big consequences? Is it because people don't want to take these consequences of not wearing masks? Do they feel like it's a tyranny?
I think that is a key reason why. I think that is a good observation that you made. Whether it's the consequence that they're afraid of, or if it's just the masks that they just don't like. And a lot of arguments that were presented earlier and are going to be presented say that it's actually the mask that they're uncomfortable with. But then again, a lot of them say that it's what if they were to break that? What if they were still not to wear these masks, even though the whole mandatory procedure of wearing a mask is implemented, right? And I think we should continue watching and see what their arguments for that is.
On the surgeon wearing a mask for 8 to 12 hours, can you maybe explain to me, why does a surgeon wear a mask during surgery?
That's what I was saying before.
Yeah.
To stop from contaminating his surgical field, specifically to protect his patient.
Question for you, Dr. Alonso. I saw newspaper articles yesterday about Representative Sabatini filing lawsuits against local governments.
Her voice is so weird.
She reminds me of Britney Spears. It's actually quite interesting that the person who looked like Dr. Bang Bang, his argument was that this World Health Organization is not promoting the idea of wearing masks because of reasons. We don't even know why the reasons. He just said scientific evidence. And the response to this was with the question, why do doctors wear it? Why do surgeons wear it? And that is to prevent the spread of or getting the patient sick. So if that is something that is being used in the hospital, why can't that be used everywhere?
Oh yeah, just additional information to keep in mind, the difference between the medical field and regular masks sold at, like at Walgreens. Generally, surgeons in the medical field wear like N95 masks and above, which are more airtight and much more sophisticated, as I say.
Mm-hmm.
So masks may be way too general because there are masks for sure that block most particles. Those are generally masks are more expensive and more not accessible to the civilian population.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the same idea of wearing a hazmat suit. Obviously, you're not going to get most likely not going to get contaminated if you wear a hazmat suit, but not everyone can afford it
Yeah.
nor access it. So I'm just putting that as a side note when we refer to sometimes the more bigger health professions, because I think they have more sophisticated equipment to deal with certain type of things.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hi, good afternoon, or good morning, whichever. I'm fully opposed to mandatory masks, and there are many studies that prove masks are detrimental to our health, so detrimental it's frightening that any of you want to mandate them. A 2008 study of surgical masks worn by surgeons found that the mask did reduce oxygen levels significantly, creating hypoxia, a lack of oxygen in the blood. Hypoxia inhibits T lymphocytes, the main immune cells, so wearing a mask suppresses our immune system. Hypoxia promotes inflammation, which can promote the growth, invasion, and spread of cancers, and can also lead to stroke and heart attack. Our Amazon Prime driver a few weeks ago was so weak from wearing his mask, he begged my husband for Advil and water. He said, "This mask is killing me." This commission shouldn't be threatening the constituents we voted for you to serve and protect us, not serve and protect an agenda that appears to take aim at innocent, healthy citizens and small businesses. Small businesses that have already been hurt economically due to the unnecessary shutdown created by using faulty models, along with government agencies that still can't keep their stories straight. This mandate would further hurt businesses that would be under threat of shutdown unless they force their patrons to cover their nose and mouth. What happens if a patron passes out due to mask wearing, falls, hits their head, breaks their nose, etc.? When you pass out due to lack of oxygen, you are rendered incapacitated with no way to break your fall. Who's liable then? This commission, the business, the Department of Health? In Orange County, California, after the first few days of mask mandates, several residents in the area passed out. A few were injured as a result. The OC went back to masks are recommended. Why are not one of you mentioning from this commission or health department about boosting our immune system using zinc, vitamin D, magnesium, vitamin C, which are all proven to reduce ICU visits by 80%? We only hear about masks, vaccines, and testing. If we have a second wave, I feel it would be due to masking healthy citizens and therefore harming their immune systems, making them more susceptible to COVID, other...
That was, I think, persuasive.
That was a good argument.
I mean, yeah, it is a good argument. Then the next question we have to ask is, let's review the evidence.
Mhm.
Let's see the specific cases. What kind of people were usually passed out? Did they have the proper accommodations for it? Generally, because I've done research for many things, usually when people cite scientific articles, like one or two, in my opinion, I feel like it's not enough, because there are some articles I find that are really niche to the certain view, and generally sometimes those articles are have some kind of flaw within making their conclusions. So usually that's why you need to have an abundance. So if for the scientific part of our evidence, I would say I would love to look at the study, and I would like to see other studies similar to it. If overwhelming evidence points towards it, then we could make a possible causation. And now the other cases for the people who fainted, we also need to know the situation. because the decision, I think the mask mandatory decision here made is mostly, I think the policymakers are thinking about majority. So maybe they could modify the policies to work out the clinks, but then they could have a compromise. But that's as far as I think.
I think one interesting thing that I noticed is that she said that her Amazon delivery guy almost passed out, right? Because of wearing a mask. But there are so many factors that can go into that. You know, there, like for example, Florida heat. I think that's a big factor as why he almost passed out.
Yeah, and then we have to ask, well, are these cases often? Generally, is it what about FedEx drivers or U.S. Postal Service drivers or
Uh huh.
whatchamacallit, UPS drivers? You have to kind of look at the bigger picture also. But one of the things I was curious is like, when you're hot and about to faint, do you ask for Advil? It's a painkiller.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he was on drugs. You never know.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, it's just odd. I don't know the
That's true.
situation. I don't know the context. But it's kind of weird how someone goes to. I mean, I understand the water part.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just it's like hot. I can't breathe. Take off the mask, drink some water, hydrate. But why Advil?
Bit weird. It's a bit weird. Good catch. Good catch. Wait, what other evidence did she have? She had one case from 2008 about surgical masks. She had the Amazon thing that just I don't really count as evidence because it's just a personal story, I guess. What else? Was that it?
Yeah, and then several cases of
Hypoxia.
of Floridian citizens also passing out, or so called. She claimed.
I thought it was California.
Oh, was it
No.
California?
Yeah.
This is,
Sorry.
yeah, it's probably in California. Okay, well, let's continue. What's the next part?
All right. Good morning, family, all of you, because that's what we all are here.
She's been memed on.
What I want to say is
Oh yeah, this is gonna be good.
we, the people, will work day and night to clean every single seat if need be.
will
We
not.
will get together and do a citizen's arrest on every single human being that goes against the freedom of
I will not.
choice. Okay? You literally cannot mandate somebody to wear a mask knowing that that mask is killing people. It literally is killing people. And we the people are waking up, and we know what citizen's arrest is because citizen's arrests are already happening, okay? And every single one of you that are obeying the devil's laws are going to be arrested. And you, doctor, are going to be arrested for crimes against humanity.
no.
Every single one of you have a smirk behind that little mask, but every single one of you are going to get punished by God. You cannot escape God. You cannot escape God. I'm gonna say that again. You cannot escape God, not even with the mask or
Put
6
your
feet.
finger away.
Okay? 6 feet, like I said before, is military protocol. You're trying to get the people to
What is she talking about?
train them so when the cameras, the 5G comes out, what? They're gonna scan everybody. We gotta get scanned, we gotta get temperatured. The kids have to go to school with masks. Are you insane? Are you crazy? I think all of you should be in a psych ward right the heck now because none of you know what the hell you are all talking about. This is insane. And then you want to open this meeting with a prayer to God. Are you praying to the devil? Because God is not listening to that prayer. Because all of you are practicing the devil's laws. What happened to Bill Gates? Why is he not in jail? Why is Hillary Clinton not in jail? Why are all of these pedophiles that are demanding you all to listen to their rules? Why are they not in jail? Oh, is it because you're part of them? Are
Thank
you
you,
part
ma'am.
of the deep
Your
state?
time has expired.
The deep state is going
Ma'am,
down. And
this
if
is your
any of you
last
are
warning.
in the deep state, you're going down with it.
I'm finding that you are disrupting this meeting.
Oof, there is a lot to unpack here. Jeez. Okay, let's try to break this down. First off, the whole statement about God is not listening to your prayers. If you are a person of religion and you have educated yourself on that matter, then you should know that God listens to all prayers, each and every single one of them. even from those who have heavily sinned. That's one flaw in her argument. But let's put religion on the side for now. Let's talk about her statement of citizen's arrest. Name me one case where citizen's arrest actually worked against a government employee. I have never witnessed that in my life. By modern terms, citizen's arrest is the encouragement of ordinary citizens to help apprehend lawbreakers. So tell me, what law is this local government meeting trying to break? Their freedom to wear or not wear whatever they want? I don't understand that type of thinking. Because if they are so threatened because of these masks, why not continue pushing on and protesting against seatbelts in vehicles, for example? Sometimes they're just too tight, right?
Yeah.
Why not make the argument that it should not be illegal to wear seatbelts in Florida if you are a driver? Isn't wearing seatbelts the same infringement as wearing a mask? Like, for example, they both are trying to help protect the public, including the user of the mask / seatbelt. Like, I don't understand. What other ridiculous claims did she make that you guys caught?
I just don't like how she spoke for me, saying I'm gonna do all this work. I ain't gonna do none of that. I'm not cleaning anything.
Oh yeah, she's right. She finally figured it out. It was all the ploy of the government to go and depopulate and decentralize the population. She masterfully whatchamacallit, she masterfully figured it out, and we can't do anything about it. She got us. She got us. It's the next revolution. The government is going to be changed with massive social reform. 5G will be no more, and coronavirus will be more prevalent.
No. Do you know what the 5G thing is? Because like I don't understand what they are saying about that.
I think they're saying that like the government is using higher frequency radio waves to control or give you cancer.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wow.
You know my mom believes that shit.
Is your mama Karen?
My mom is low key.
Hold on.
My mom low key Karen though. I'm not gonna lie. She don't listen to reason.
I'm gonna be honest. Everything I've seen from commercial products to 5G, everything on the electromagnetic, I find it funny that usually most scams and conspiracies all have to point towards the electromagnetic spectrum. From claiming to use infrared to read your food, to using electric waves to read your mood, all the way to 5G affecting your brain and controlling it or giving you cancer. Like if it's like gamma rays and we're all sitting in a nuclear reactor.
This is easy to believe.
Yeah, I guess it's because they can't actually understand how any of that works. They say that it could be in the wrong hands already.
Did you know 5G, some people think that it causes coronavirus?
Oh my god, what the heck?
Yes.
That has no relevance to each other.
It
One
makes
is a
sense.
virus.
Yeah, why does the U.S. have the highest amount of cases and the government's not doing much effort to prevent it? Because the government invented a coronavirus, and they also are installing 5G, and they're using the coronavirus to try to control the population.
Oh my god.
It all falls together.
This is so stupid. Oh my god. Alright, let's continue. What's the next part? I think we can skip over her. She's crazy, bro.
Dude, I love her, dude. She needs to make a movie.
Yeah, actually, she'd probably be a good screenwriter.
Wait, hold on. How many hertz does a microwave operate?
Why?
I don't know that off the top of my head.
Yes.
Okay. This is the thing. People need to understand that through electromagnetic waves and electrical waves, magnetic waves, it's hard to penetrate the body because our skin does really good job of shielding radiation in general. It is when we reach ionized radiation such as gamma rays and UV light is when things go crazy and you get cancer and people might die.
Yeah, okay.
So just put that out there.
I'd like to say, in the beginning, God formed man out of the earth and breathed his breath in him, and he became a living soul.
God also didn't give us clothes. Okay, if you're looking at the first people, Adam and Eve, right? They were almost butt naked, almost, right? So why is she not arguing for why we're wearing shirts and shoes and pants? Okay, if her argument is that we're not sustaining what God's intended body birth, right? Why not also sustain other things, right? That I don't understand her argument.
Where do you derive the authority to regulate human breathing? I ask you this because this is very important. You all are playing doctors, and you're not. And God gave us the very breath that we are to breathe. I would also like to know, where do you get the authority to reduce my oxygen? Who made you perpetrators over my life? I would like to also say, in Congress is where laws are made. They have to write a bill. That bill has to also go through the Senate. You cannot just make laws. That is unconstitutional. That is not how we run this country as a republic. You have taken and overreached authorities that you do not have. And ma'am, as a doctor, I really have many question marks about your degrees and what you really know, because what you say is the political dogma that they're trying to shove down our throats on every commercial and every store, and it's disgusting. And I'm sorry, ma'am, but I don't think that you are worthy of your credentials. And I would ask suggestively that you go back to school and get educated.
Ma'am, there is a difference between commenting on her
Okay,
efficacy as
then
a
I will go
doctor
back
and
to my
attacking-
comments to
Thank
each
you.
and every one of you as representatives of the human race, where you're supposed to represent people. And Mrs. Baker, okay, I'm not allowed to say your name, but still, it is appalling that each and every one of you sitting up there as human beings, part of the human race, the only race that we have, would suggest to muffle people, to put masks on our face, to keep us from breathing oxygen, to get us to become sickly. Now, there's so much evidence. The CDC itself said they made a mistake. There's not enough to make this a pandemic. This is a planned-demic. This is totally political, and you know it. And I'm asking you to cease and desist from the political agendas that you're being propaganded to stand with and try to hold us hostage as American citizens. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Oh my God! Pause it. Pause it. That's complete. I don't even say it.
Yeah, she's completely right. We
I
should
loved
vote.
it.
Shit,
I loved it.
Enough with this fake agreement. These people exist. These people think that they're the victims. They're the victims of government laws, of government of tyranny. I can't speak. I've lost my words. This is complete and utter garbage.
Yeah, you see right there, that's the 5G eating away your brain cells.
Oh my God, man. It's just painful. It's painful, okay? Because like what if you were in an argument with her? Imagine she's just putting this on everyone. The same approach she has to this argument, she's arguing with you, and you can't win. You can never win with her because she has this like victim card. She's presenting herself as a person who is discriminated against by these tyrants controlling her and her mind and stealing her rights away. And another thing she said that how could you pass such a rule of mandatory masks knowing that masks kill people? Well, then you could say anything like belts kill people. There have been some cases where belts have killed people. Are we going to just abolish belts? Like, what is this?
Yeah. See, belts. Some people choke on belts. Some people get beaten by belts. Okay, should we ban belts?
By her logic, yes. Yes, everything that's harming us, just ban them. Well, that's just not how it works. Just continue. Just let's go to the next part.
How can you make a one-size-fits-all mandate? Are you considering the following? I've been a music teacher for 23 years. I need you to tell me, how do I play a saxophone and sing with a mask on? I'll let you think about that. How about people that can't breathe with the myriad of conditions that there are? Not just one, not just two, maybe four, maybe five.
See, As soon as she said music teacher, all credibility went out the window. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I mean, she does present an argument that I guess has some logic in. I guess you can't play a saxophone with a mask on, I guess. But can't you just do it under the mask or like?
But you can't play piano with a mask, so therefore we're all being pianists.
Okay.
No, but then you can play a violin and viola with a mask on. Then we're being violinists and whatchamacallit, violists, and we're now being instrumental racists.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's such bullcrap, but it's so true. That's something that she would argue. That's something that a Karen would say. Oh my god, we're discriminating in the band community now. My trumpet players can't play with masks on, but my percussion can. Like, wow.
To her, it probably means a lot that she's a musician. She needs to play the sax. But in a bigger perspective, is that really your highest priority right now? You could be dying of coronavirus and you care about music right now.
Dude, music is life.
I mean, I guess.
Literally, you can play your sax indoors by yourself. Have fun. You don't have to go out in the public and have everyone listen to your sax.
That's a good point, though. Like,
instead of giving her a ventilator, you should just give her a trumpet or sax. She's like,
it's not like you have to wear it 24/7.
She's dying. Yeah, she's dying for her last breath, and you're like, "Oh, here's a trumpet, blowing it." I mean, band is life.
Get your priorities straight. Come on.
I guess she died with passion.
She gives the last blow and just dies silently.
You know what the blow is? Wah, 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 wah.
Oh, that's a meme. We gotta put that in the video.
That's a meme.
This is too much clowning. It's way too far.
Oh my god, I'm sweating. I'm
That's
sweating
funny.
from laughing, bro. Okay, I think she still has an argument to present. I think we have to hear her out, I guess.
What about PTSD from child abuse situations? I was left in a hot car. You want to cover my face? I'm going to hyperventilate.
Is that a threat?
Because I remember being stuck in that hot car. What about people like me? We don't matter
Wait,
because
so
of the
she's
greater
not scared
good,
of
right?
cars?
What about religious objections? I happen to be clergy. Nobody's talked to me about me and my religion and our levels of autonomy and about how we do not allow masks or medical treatments to be given by people that are not doctors, which is everybody up here except one.
Pause it. No, but that's just bullcrap. She's saying that she can't listen to anyone but a doctor. But a doctor's right in front of her, presenting these facts and statistics that support the government's claim. I don't get that. Just because a doctor didn't say breathing is good, and a government person says breathing is good, you're not gonna listen to that government person? What kind of bullcrap reasoning is that?
She acknowledged that there's a doctor in front of her. But
Yeah,
the way she's saying it is that she needs every one of them to be a doctor. So you're saying that you need the government to be your doctor, the entire government.
Yeah. Like if a mechanic's, if I don't know, if like a band teacher says, "Oh, your car is broken," and like you don't, and the car actually doesn't have four wheels, you'd be like, "No, you're not a mechanic. You can't tell me." And she starts to drive that thing. Like, what is wrong with her?
She's a musician.
Speaking of the greater good, that's a nice phrase that they used to use back in Cuba, where my family came from. They had a lot of the same things that you guys are proposing now. Snitch lines, we call them el comité de barrio. They would snitch on each other and call people, "Hey, he's not doing this, she's not doing that. Snitch, 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 snitch." Yeah, Cuba likes that. They're proud of you guys right now. The enforcers, police officers, are you ready to turn into tools of the government and drag people to jail for wearing a mask? Is that what you want to do?
What do you mean tools of the government? Are you saying they don't do that right now? They don't drag people into jail? I don't get her. What? What does she mean by that?
Honestly, what is the consequence? I'm very curious on the mandate. What are the consequences of not wearing a mask? All I can think is that the worst kind of consequence, like besides jailing, fining, or detaining, the worst kind of consequence is that you just can't attend that public facility.
My question would be, in the proposed language that you're looking at, a violation of this order, should it pass, are we looking at a criminal infraction or are we looking at a civil citation?
We will write it where, and work with law enforcement, but it can be a civil citation and/or up to, depending upon the egregiousness of it. I've learned throughout this process that we also need to leave the sheriff some flexibility in case there's some other things going on. And so I will work with law enforcement on the actual language, but our intent is not to even give out civil fines, but it is to ensure that people understand this is a serious virus that we're dealing with. It's impacting health and the economy. And so we want to do the least enforcement as possible, but we also don't want to tie law enforcement hands in case there is some other issue that they need to address. So I will work with the law enforcement on that particular language.
Thank you. So long as a civil citation is an option, I would be
Yes, ma'am.
comfortable. Thank you.
So it doesn't even reach to a, so what I'm getting is that it doesn't even reach to a criminal citation. Rather, it is a civil citation. So the worst thing you could get is like a fine. And to get a fine, you have to be like, you have to like consistently refuse. Like
Yeah.
you have to be aggressively refusing.
Mm-hmm.
And the point they're really trying to get is that, look, we're going to enforce it, but like it is the lowest priority as compared to other, infractions such as, robbery, murder, blah, blah, blah. It's just very small. So that's the thing. What is the punishment? I think the punishment in common sense is you just can't attend a public space.
Yes, that is actually true, and I think Dr. Bangman had he posted on his story a very interesting point. Dr. Bang, you want to talk about that? Something about rejecting the people that work there. If the person has a right not to wear a mask, the business has a right not to let them in. Right? There we go. That's the post.
As an American, you have a right not to wear a mask. But just like you, businesses have a right not to let you in, not to serve you. You can't have it both ways. You're free to make a choice, but that means accepting the consequences of your actions. Screaming at employees and businesses for protecting their workers and customers does not make you a patriot, it makes you an asshole. Don't mistake inconvenience for oppression.
Wow. Very interesting point, and I think that's well said. But then at the same time, if we have these things where if we were to take into account this post, right, where all businesses have the right to reject whoever they want to reject, why do we need it to be a mandatory mask wearing procedure then? Why do people have to wear a mask if they just have to face the consequences of not wearing it? Shouldn't they still have the choice not to wear it, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the mask mandate is solely for public spaces. Like, you don't have to wear a mask at home or in your own private property or private space, even your own private gatherings. Oh, it's only public and public businesses.
Yeah.
Here's another thing, in the bigger perspective, is that especially in Florida, the mask mandatory law really arise because why? Because like there's just a sudden surge of cases. There's still a high number of cases in the U.S. and Florida has grown. I don't know, and I better check my figures, but I think Florida has grown globally as in the amount of upsurge of corona cases in the shortest amount of time. Not by amount, but by like growth. It's grown way too fast in little amount. So the natural response is, well, we need to take more preventative measures because that's not a good thing. So I think we need to also consider not just focus on individual cases, but also consider the macro pictures because that's what some people fail to consider is the bigger picture. I'm not trying to say, oh, you can always go for like utilitarianism thought, for the majority, but the reality is that the problem is the majority is affected, and the cause is like not the cause, the reasoning is pretty direct.
I see.
Or not reasoning because we don't know what really upsurged the cases. If we did know, we would have more specific laws and specific rules, but the evidence is more direct. Sorry.
Okay, that's understandable.
Mr. Getty, you're recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Kern. Thank you, Board of Commissioners. This is a very heated topic. As he said, my name is Aaron Getty. I'm the vice president of a restoration company, and this is something that I've been practicing for over 10 years. The reason I bring that up is because part of what we do is clean biohazard losses and we clean mold. PPE is a very important part of what we do. I wish I had the time to talk about the science behind PPE. Unfortunately, I don't. So the one thing that I would like to present to the board is part of wearing personal protective equipment is protecting me, it's not protecting others. That's very important to keep in mind because OSHA regulates PPE. One of the things that they talk about is wearing it properly. Unfortunately, for those that are wearing it, I see the majority of the citizens wearing it improperly. Facial hair automatically says that you're not wearing it properly. So what I would ask of the board is how are you going to police those that are wearing face coverings but are not wearing them properly? That's number one. Number two is I would like to point out that Dr. Alonso quite adequately has pointed out that increased face touching is a huge problem, and this is one of the main ways that the virus spreads. Studies have shown that by wearing a face mask, you significantly increase the amount of times that you touch your face. Additionally, we've pointed out those with respiratory deficiencies. OSHA, the CDC, and the face mask manufacturers have come out and said very clearly that you should not wear them. The other thing that I would like to point out is the surgical masks that you see people wearing are single-use masks. The reason they're single-use masks is because bacteria builds up in these masks and it becomes very uncleanly and unsanitary for the wearer. Lastly, I would like to point out that the Center for Disease and Infectious Research and Policy has said, quote, "We do not recommend requiring the general public who do not have symptoms of COVID-19 illnesses to wear the masks." What I would also like to point out is that when you wear these masks, it's to protect the wearer. The reality is masks are rated for the hazards that we are addressing. And Dr. Alonso, I'm sure that you would agree with that. The reason that they're rated is because of the particulate size that you're going to inhale. Very quickly, I would like to end with this. Sun shields are not adequate face protection. They will filter microns between 50 and 500 microns in size. They filter.
Sir, your time has expired.
Absolutely. The virus is 0.125 microns in size. So if you have something that's meant to filter out 500 microns in size and the virus is 0.125 microns in size, scientifically the masks do not work.
Thank you for your comments,
You're
sir.
welcome. Thank you guys for hearing
I
me.
think he prevents the strongest argument.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, there are some concerns with masks and whatchamacallit, the practicality of masks, because it is true, masks are not used as over and over again, and masks are used usually one or two times in very, scarce not scarce, but like once or two time situations, so you don't have the buildup of bacteria, as he said. So the problem is, like, this goes back to the how to effectively implement masks is that the affordability of masks and can everyone adequately and healthily not healthily but adequately supplement themselves with at least clean masks. So that is a challenge to the mandate. I do feel his point. The only point I really want to question is the restriction of airflow. That's the one thing that's clouding. Everyone's claiming it, but I wish to find evidence of it.
Now, before we watch this lady, we have to know that she's the same person who has been holding an anti-vax board or pamphlet this whole time in front of the camera. She's been trying to advertise the theory or the policy or the principle of being an anti-vaxxer. So that's just the type of person we're going to be listening to now.
Love it.
Good morning. Good to see you all here today. Here we are again. So fun. It's become my favorite part of my week, I must admit. Okay, so first of all, we live in a republic, a democratic republic, not a democracy.
Dang! Pause it real quick. Dang, congratulations, you got them. You just solved all the COVID issues and mask issues by correcting them that this is not a democracy or a complete democracy. Congratulations. A reason why this is not a complete democracy is because we want to take into consideration the population disparity that we have in America. So some places have a lot more population, so minorities will be excluded most of the time if we were to be a completely democracy. That's why we don't have a complete democracy. the reason why a republic democracy probably works better in situations like this is because you get accounted for your education. You get accounted for why exactly you should have, I guess, a position of power.
Commissioner Valachey, I appreciate what you said about the WHO, but if that is true, then why is the county citing the WHO on their website as a source to be listened to? So you need to decide who you want us to listen to. You can't keep telling us all these different things and expect us to really understand what you're talking about. So Education Mayor Kerner, you emphasize it multiple times. You and Dr. Alonzo and the rest of this board discuss about how we need to educate. I myself have stood here at least twice before and through several separate emails of which I don't get responses from, requesting these studies that are showing why that it is safe for us to not only wear the mask, but that it is effective. We're not getting them. So as many other people have said, how can you mandate a medical intervention on people without the scientific backup? An opinion is not science. It's not science. As much as you can't just keep saying things and expect them to be true. It's not, an opinion is not science. And until we see those scientific studies, I've said I would be willing to consider wearing a mask if I can see those studies. I still haven't received them. Therefore, I can only assume that they don't exist, or for some reason you don't want to share them with us. A mask mandate will not have the effect that you want it to. We are 3 months into this. The people who are not wearing masks have medical conditions that prohibit them from wearing them, or they have a deep-seated conviction and belief in their constitutionally protected rights, and they will not wear them. They are willing to risk jail time. They are willing to risk the citation. People like me who have the medical condition are not going to suddenly start wearing them because you mandate them. I'm actually going to get discriminated against everywhere I go, even more than I already am, and have to tell everybody everywhere I go all about my personal medical information. So you are putting that out there. You, as many people have said, you are the leaders in this. The last thing that I want to say is that the Florida Constitution states life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. A mask mandate is the antithesis of this. Life is snuffed with the deprivation of oxygen. Liberty is snuffed when personal freedom of choice is removed, and our pursuit of happiness is snuffed when we have to fight you constantly not to remove our freedoms. Please do your job to uphold the Constitution and our protected rights by voting no on this mandate.
It's only violated if it violates your life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, the double standard is just phenomenal right there. But you know what? I have to say something. She did bring up a good point that dang, I completely forgot what was her good point. Oh, okay. I remember what the good part was, or the good thing that she's said. I think if you were to make this mandatory, it would probably be abrupt. It's kind of like very I guess fast timing where you expect everyone to be wearing masks, especially for the fact that what if the government is not good at fulfilling these accommodations? It's kind of way too fast of changing this policy if you have to be wearing a mask now. So that's the only good part I think she brought up, because a lot of people just can't adapt to change that quickly. I think us four, we could probably adapt to change that quickly, but older people, for example, they probably can't. That's the only good part she brings up, I guess.
Oh, dude, you forgot about how they're violating life, liberty, and pursuit.
Oh yeah, well, of course, and violating life, liberty, and pursuit.
My life is being snuffed out.
Oh, no pun intended, huh?
We have Beth Bahor, followed by, I can't pronounce it, it's Kopp, maybe the last name, followed by Dr. Allison Rempersad.
Ma'am, you have 2 minutes.
Okay, thanks. It's Bohan. Don't call me a whore.
Please forgive me.
Just a couple points. I had something kind of written out, but as I was taking notes. The median range of testing has dropped to 35 in this community. That's fantastic. Herd immunity is what we need. This will go on forever. This is a virus. This isn't going to go away. Even if we get a vaccine, only 40% of people get the flu vaccine. You're not going to be able to do that. People are going to refuse the vaccine. The New England Journal of Medicine. The New England Journal of Medicine states this: we know the wearing a mask outside healthcare facilities offers little, if any, protection from infection. Public health authorities define a significant exposure to COVID-19 as face-to-face contact within 6 feet with a patient with symptomatic COVID-19 19 that is sustained for at least a few minutes and say more than 10 minutes or even 30 minutes. The chance of catching COVID-19 from passing interaction in a public space is therefore minimal. In many cases, the desire for widespread masking is a reflexive reaction to anxiety over the pandemic. That's the Journal of Medicine. Somebody was talking about not quoting WHO because they've been kind of wishy-washy. You yourselves are quoting the CDC, who has been just as wishy-washy, if not more so than the WHO. And you are still quoting them and saying that you should wear a mask. That is actually not what they're saying. Let me see. Please remember, Dr. Alonso stated that the deaths were real people. Please remember, we are real living people. We do not want to wear these masks. I have been working as an essential worker since this began. I have not worn a mask. This is the mask that I wore today to get in here. This is the mask that you say is okay to come in here. This is the mask I wore in here today. This is my homemade mask that your official said is okay to wear. This is insane. This is insane.
Ma'am, thank you for your comments today.
At the end, I don't wear a mask for the same reason I don't wear underwear. Things gotta breathe.
Oh my God.
And all her arguments just vanished like that. Bro.
Wow.
Oh my God. No comment. No
what
comment.
I just hear?
This is no comment. We can't comment on that. How can we comment on that? How can we comment on someone who doesn't wear underwear on purpose? I'm telling you, like, this is where the argument is going now. Oh, the government can't stop me from from wearing underwear or not wearing underwear. You know, so I think we're done. Is there anything else we need to talk about? I think we've talked about this enough.
Dude, I'm like emotionally done.
Okay, I'm doing an investigation. I'm just curious if CDC or WHO, their websites are posting whether we should not wear masks or not.
You're doing an investigation?
No, it's just very surface. Masks should be used as a part of a comprehensive strategy of measures to suppress transmission and save lives. The use of a mask is not alone sufficient to provide adequate levels of protection against COVID-19.
Yeah.
Let me see. Who recommends that people always consult local within other countries, and who does not want to be criticized by local people who do not support masks? So who is just trying, the World Health Organization is trying to maintain a a neutral point. And do I want to add that, did you know China gives so much money to the WHO that they can budge some views going on in it? So I think the World Health Organization, although the great reason and the great thing to keep the world healthy, there is some internal issues within, things true and keeping things objective. But I go to the CDC website, which is more closer to America, because CDC is for the disease control for America.
So
they recommend wearing masks. Obviously, there is complications with medical accommodations. That is completely reasonable, right?
Uh-huh.
But I feel like there should be some way to accommodate for those individuals. And like I said again, the people in the very beginning, actually, could you see if you can find it, the person saying that about talking about the law and talking about giving accommodations? Can you find that in the video?
I'd like to remind the members of the audience and of the public that the county has an order about wearing face masks unless you need an accommodation.
And that the facial coverings are utilized by as many people as possible. Obviously, people who have conditions or any inability to wear the mask for medical reasons, of course, are excused from that.
We'll also talk to you a little bit about exemptions. There are a number of exemptions that are either required by the state for whatever reasons. We'll make those accommodations in laying out an order for you.
Also, yes, I heard that face shields do not help.
Yeah.
Based on the CDC websites, they say face shields do not help. So the person who was talking about face shields earlier had a very valid point.
That's true. That is true.
What's a face shield?
It's kind of like a very big visor in front.
Oh, in the shops and stuff?
Yeah. Like the workers may wear big visors in front. Turns out it is not the case. However, face shields can help suppress if it is along with a mask. So if you wear a mask and a face shield, it helps.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all.
So to conclude, there were in this video in this town council meeting, there were some good points brought up as to why the government should not make it mandatory for people to wear masks to prevent the spread of COVID-19. But once again, there were some arguments that led us to believe that some people are just misled, too skeptical, and need to calm down. So let's just say it's up to you guys to decide. Leave your comments and your viewpoints down below, and tell us what you guys think. This was MOJ, the Meeting of Judgementals, with your boy Russ, Chin. Say something, Chin.
Goodbye.
Rico.
Yo.
And Dr. Bang Bang.
Acknowledged.